Welcome back, you lovely people. On today's video, we're going to talk about altcoins because I forgot to yesterday. Thank you for being patient. And where we expect to begin the next alt season, where is good entry points, what we expect to happen next. So I'm here on the Bitcoin dominance chart. And we know over the past few months, we've been descending. You could call this a mini alt season. I don't really define it as an alt season because I'm comparing it to this, which we had for the first 4 months of the year, which is, of course, a huge alt season. And that was aligned with what happened at the beginning of 2017. And now what we're waiting for is the second massive alt season, which is at the very end of the cycle. So we've had, let's call it a mini alt season. Some altcoins have done really well. Some have underperformed Bitcoin. I'll give you some examples of that. This is Binance Coin, which is, really been going nowhere versus Bitcoin. Even Ethereum has been, has not taken out the high and has been pretty much sideways for a few months versus Bitcoin. So that's why I don't define the past few months as alt season. However, we are expecting a final alt season where Bitcoin goes up, but altcoins absolutely explode. And we may not be too far away. This downward sloping channel, I think, is giving us a really good indicator. And the fact that we're coming in to test the same level as the end of the last alt season means, in my opinion, we're about to break to the upside. What does this mean? This means we're going to enter our phase of Bitcoin outperforming altcoins. Now, that could either look like, and this comes back to our two Bitcoin scenarios, this could be Bitcoin exploding to the upside and beginning channel 2. Or it could start with scenario B, which is Bitcoin coming in to test between 42 and 38,000. And then bouncing and beginning wave 2. Both of those scenarios would most likely give us a break of this Bitcoin dominance chart. It's really when Bitcoin is going sideways that altcoins outperform, apart from the very end of the cycle. So I'm expecting one of those two scenarios on Bitcoin. As you know, I believe that initiates a break of this channel, Bitcoin to outperform. We'll see where we get to, and then at some point for it to roll over, and then this to be alt season that we're looking at. And talking specifically about that second scenario, if Bitcoin has a pullback, which could happen very soon, into 42 to 38,000. Well, as you saw a week or so ago, when we had our first sell-off, altcoins got absolutely obliterated. And if we do come down here, I would expect altcoins to get absolutely obliterated again. There is precedent in 2017. This is the market cap of altcoins. We've looked at this before, but just so that we're very clear, we had our first sell-off that we've had. We had a bounce, and then altcoins got obliterated. Bitcoin went down as well, but on average, altcoins went down 46% just on that second pullback. So that could happen again. Very, very possible. If Bitcoin heads down into that 40-ish region, you could see the altcoins go down 30, 40, 50%. If that happens, and it's if the market presents us that opportunity, then this market cap would end up looking very similar: dip, correction, and then crash. And if we went down, I haven't measured this out yet, 45%, I mean, we'd go really low. Probably, yeah, we'd go down somewhere like here. Probably not going to be as much in this cycle. I've drawn a tentative circle in there. There's no real math behind that, but what I'm expecting is hopefully my mouse to start working. There we go. For us to take out this low at least and then spike down, whether it's here or here, not sure. And there is some nervousness around the markets. The equity markets are down 0.5% today, and the dollar is up. Where's my equity markets? They're actually recovering a little bit. They have been nervous. Now they're recovering a little bit. Now the crypto market is looking a bit nervous. And just something to watch out for. We have one of China's banks, which is also a property developer, and pretty much state-run, like the vast majority of China's industry, is on the verge of default or has defaulted, and currently we're not really sure what happens next. Definitely everybody's looking at it. It hasn't caused any massive contagion yet, and at the moment the market is not too panicked in order to create a massive sell-off, but this is the sort of thing which could spiral. And even if it's not this, then we could just get a crypto pullback, because we are always prepared for crypto pullbacks. If that takes place, I would expect it to happen over the next week or so. And if it does, especially if we get that big pullback on altcoins, that would be a really good entry point. I mean, it sounds like it's stating the obvious. If altcoins sell off 40%, then it's a good entry point. But if we look at, I'm just going to look at a few examples. Let's pick out Litecoin from 2017. So Litecoin in 2017, so it was in a lovely upward sloping channel for most of the year, but the big sell-off was here. So if you got in anywhere around here, then you were very well positioned for the final alt season. Of course, it's not the final entry point. If you do manage to buy there, then fantastic. But also what we're looking for is liftoff, which is around here. And we'll look at a second example of XRP. XRP is here. So in 2017, XRP, you had similar, this mini alt season in XRP, and then big sell-off, which resulted in this entry point. Again, if you got in anywhere there, then you were beautifully positioned for final alt season. But once again, not the final entry possible for XRP, because if you miss there, then what we're also going to be looking for is liftoff, and I'll be covering that on the channel. Because whether it's XRP or Litecoin or any of the others, once we achieve liftoff, then that was a couple of weeks and some massive gains. That's a 10x on XRP and similar on others. So two possible options depending on what happens. If you get this opportunity on altcoins, then it could be worth taking it. And if not, don't worry, there'll probably be a final opportunity before final alt season begins. But that's on the scenario where we have a big sell-off. And we will see if that happens. The market's starting to look a bit weak, could be happening, but of course we're also in a bull market, so it could easily reverse. You'll know about it if you start seeing altcoins down 10, 20, 30, 40%. That might be a good time to load up. So thank you for supporting. Please like the video, and I will talk to you soon.